An absolute playoff atmosphere helped the Detroit Pistons actually handedly beat the Boston Celtics to go on an 8-game win streak. The number 2 seed in the East, the reigning champions, were flustered all night long by the play of Asar Thompson, by the scoring of Cade Cunningham. It didn't matter if Drew Holiday was on him. Yes, they didn't have Jaylen Brown, but they're the reigning champions, and this team came off of a 14-win season. So there's no excuses. Boston got demolished. And you can look at anything you want. You can talk about Jaylen Brown. Asar Thompson was phenomenal. It's easy to look at the box score and say, Malik Beasley had 26, Cade had 21, Tobias Harris had 16, Jalen Duren double-double. Asar Thompson with 7 points had the largest impact tonight. If there was no Asar Thompson, and he did leave the game due to injury, so hopefully he's okay. He was able to get up and walk off and smile, so that's good for him. But if there was no Asar Thompson, Jason Tatum would have had 50 or 60 points tonight. First thing I want to do, look at this clip. And this would set the tone for the remainder of the game. Detroit was down 1, and you see Asar Thompson on Jason Tatum. And he's absolutely going to stay glued to him. So the whole purpose of this play is they're trying to get a switch for Marcus Sasser onto Tatum to get a little bit of a mismatch. Jason Tatum's going to set the screen. And what they're fronting here is they're going to have Pritchard roll. And because Sasser is all the way up on the three-point line, they're going to try to make it so Asar sticks with Pritchard. But Tobias Harris isn't having any of that. He's going to step in. Asar knows my assignment is to stay with Jason Tatum, which he does. And even though Sasser's way off, he can then rotate to the corner. Tobias Harris goes on Peyton Pritchard. An absolute beautiful defense from Detroit. Asar didn't even have to look around. They just knew Asar's assignment is to stay on Jason Tatum. He's going to get on to him. Again, they're going to try to get the switch. It doesn't bite. And honestly, Tatum should have gone around. Maybe that could have limited Asar's movement, could have made Asar Thompson have to step over and stop him. And now Asar's trailing. He's about a step behind Jason Tatum. Tatum's going to step back, go around the screen now. Asar's going to fight through the screen, absolutely deny any space from Jason Tatum here. And I know we're pausing this quite a bit, but the point of it is to show how little space Jason Tatum has here. Jason Tatum right here loses the ball. Asar Thompson gets the ball, open court, Malik Beasley, slam dunk. We all know who Asar Thompson is on defense. We all know he also struggles to dribble at times, kind of has that Jaylen Brown tag to him. This play gives me a lot of hope in Asar Thompson and his development. He's going to go right at Jason Tatum, lose the ball a little bit, which is a little bit worrisome, but Jason Tatum is going to deny any space from Asar, kind of like Asar was doing earlier, and I bet you Jason Tatum had that at the front of his mind. Asar Thompson steps back, does a move, gets Jason Tatum turned around, easy lay to Isaiah Stewart for the foul. Gets 2 free throws. I just want to look at that one more time. Look at Look at Jason Tatum right here, man. He needs a map. And like we've said, every single game of this streak, the Detroit Pistons, when they lose their momentum, they instantly get it back. The largest Celtic lead was 2. The largest lead for Detroit ballooned all the way to 23 at the end through garbage time. But look at what happened in the second half. They came out strong, and there might have been runs where Boston went on and scored 3 or 4, maybe 5 points, but it was instantly followed by Detroit laying on the gas and not letting them get any momentum back. And honestly, that's amazing to see. You don't see that much in the NBA all the way till the end. I mean, once they had the lead up to 15, 16, and it looked like it was over, they could have instantly put in the bench unit. Boston pulled their starters at 4 minutes, 40 seconds. It took another, 30, 40, 50 seconds for Detroit to pull theirs? I mean, Detroit made sure to finish Boston off before that bench gave them any sort of life. And this is simple basketball. If you win the points in the paint, if you win in second chance scoring, if you win in the fast break, you are going to dominate the opposing team. There's very few instances, and I can't even think of a situation where you'd be close or lose all of these and be able to pull through for a victory. I mean, this just shows Detroit putting in the effort and stepping up to the challenge. After a 7-game win streak, all the pressure is on Detroit at this point. I mean, obviously for Boston, you're the quote unquote better team, but tonight you didn't see that. Detroit showed what they can do in this conference. And I made a tweet about it. I really truly think Detroit is a piece. Let's be a little bit more generous. 2 pieces away from being a true Eastern Conference Finals threat. And I'm not saying to win the East because then you have to get through multiple great teams. But could they get into the Eastern Conference Finals as soon as next year? I think so, depending on what they do in free agency. I think this team is outdoing what the teams above them are. They're outplaying those teams above them. I don't care what Indiana's doing. I don't care what a Milwaukee's doing. Detroit is playing like potentially this first or the second best team because Cleveland, they've been just as good. Cleveland really has. And now they're tied for Milwaukee for that 5 seed. I mean, I could not have asked for a better streak, and it's going to be put to the test even more tomorrow, or I guess the next day, or whenever the Denver game is. And if they can pull that one out, I can see the Brooklyn game after that being a trap game. But tomorrow we're going to be looking closer at some more of the clips that made Detroit victorious tonight. We're going to be talking about some of the unsung heroes because we didn't get into all of it today. But I hope you all enjoy your night. Go Pistons.